FM.
And tonight, mad rush and chaos at various district offices of the Electoral Commission as prospective voters scramble in long queues, with some slipping rough and forced to pass the night at registration centres in a quest to be captured on the EC's voters register.
The MPP people, they'll wait when it's like 3 something, then they start bringing confusion, chaos. And then you see to say the machine is slow, they won't work again.
Came here to tell me that people were here yesterday and they wrote their names down, so they have to be registered before.
No, I will not come back again. They are delaying.
And in the next 30 minutes, we take you on a tour around some of the registration centres nationwide as pressure mounts on the Electoral Commission to open up more registration centres following widespread gridlock and malfunctioning system, as we're getting reports on. And sounds of anxious first-time voters and their guarantors crying foul over the mad rush and chaotic scenes recorded at various district offices of the Electoral Commission nationwide. Well, today, pressure is mounting on the election management body to open more registration centres as the limited voter registration exercise continues to suffer significant setbacks with equipment failure and chaos reported in some cases at some of the registration centres. So what's happening across the country in terms of the EC's ongoing limited registration exercise? We'll start off by painting a national picture. First off, in the Asokore Mampong municipality of the Ashanti region, where we're hearing reports that applicants have had to, for instance, pass the night, sleep rough just to beat competition. Well, my colleague Nanaya Aljama has been monitoring all of that for us in the Ashanti region. Joins us on the telephone lines now. Nanaya Aljama, quite a tragic story, of course, very sad for many who simply want to go through this exercise as easily as possible to get their voter ID cards. But for 4 days now, it's been a mirage for many of the applicants. What's happening in the Asokore Mampong municipality of the Ashanti region?
So in the Asokore Mampong municipality, which has the Asawase constituency, there are a number of youth within the constituency or the municipality who hope to register in this limited voter registration exercise. And this morning, around 4 a.m., I was at the Asokore Mampong Electoral Commission office where this registration exercise is taking place, and I met some young people who tell me they've had to queue for more than 2 days in order to be able to register in this exercise, ongoing exercise. Some of them had to come there as early as 3 a.m. today just to be able to advance in the queue so that, if possible, today they will be registered onto the voter register. So it's been very, very challenging for them. Those who I met there, some of them were even queuing with stones. They come very early as 3 a.m. They put stones in the queue, go home and try to get dressed up and freshen up and come back early in the morning to be able to take the place of these stones. And they've had to compete with some party agents for space in these queues. It's been a challenging moment for some of these young people, even after queuing throughout the night, the earliest that you could get access to the registration point is 11 a.m. for many of these young people. I went back later in the day, that's around midday, and they told me they've been able to register, but they still had challenges with the system.
I am a branch organizer for my political party. I am bringing my party members to register. That is why I came this early to queue for them. I could have slept in my house. I was here when you brought your children to queue. I even offered them seats. How do you come and skip our queue here?
System say we are honorable. Say we are assemblymen. Me ba for. Sheba ya kunsa wa sala yakoye yo. Me koye okra 11 time koye.
Well, so that's the situation in parts of the Ashanti region where my colleague Nana Aljuma has been monitoring the exercise, with some of them passing the night within the Esokore Mampong area. But the story is no different in parts of the Volta region as well, especially the Keta municipality and also the Keta area, where the equipment, as we understand, for the registration exercise has reportedly broken down since 9 a.m. today, leaving many scores of the registrants stranded. Some of those frustrated applicants have been interacting with my colleague Ivy Setoji, who's joining us now from the Volta region. Ivy, what's the situation in the Keta district as we speak?
Well, the situation in Keta is a bit calm, but they are still having issues with network, and so on and off they go manual and then do the network as well. But another situation in the Keta municipality is where some people are complaining of the distance, especially when you go to some villages in the municipality like Lawoshime, Mamime, some of the remotest villages where there are no access to roads. You have to walk for about 2-3 hours, cross bridges before you get to the main town in Hatogodo, before you get to Abo. So, these people will have to take cars all the way to the Keta EC office to register. So that is also a challenge. Some of them are talking about that. It's something, I don't know what could be done according to them. If something could be done about it, it will help. But aside that, it's the network issues.
Yes. Yeah, we are in Keta constituency now, and we are experiencing a lot of challenges here.
Thank you for the opportunity. We've been here since morning, and the system has been down since around 9 a.m. I got here around 8 o'clock. The system has been down since morning. We've been trying everything, but nothing is happening. We're told that the offline is going to work, and they started the offline with only one of the machines. The line is not moving, so we are just here frustrated.
But the machine is just giving us a showdown, and that is not helping matters at all. Electoral Commission National must do something about this. The anger of the people is building up. When they come here, they will tell, after 5, they will tell them to go home and come the next day. And the story continues like that. We just want to call on EC to do something about it.
A showdown, some of them say, but let's check out what's happening in the northern region. Martina Bugre has been monitoring the exercise there as well. Martina, what can you report from where you are?
From the northern region, it's largely been patronized, but they've been with some challenges. The first 2 days were very terrible. A center like the Tamale Metro Center, where they have 2 constituencies, that's the Tamale Central and the Tamale South registering. Then first day they registered just 5 people, and then the second day they registered 62, I'm told, by the EC official, who tells you that even though there were so many people, long queues, services were not up to date because people came in the morning, the machines kept on breaking down. Either the machines broke down or they had network issues. And so you still find very long queues at centers, and people are complaining the process is slow. they would have preferred that the offline, which is much faster, because with the online, it takes a while, and then the lines are down, it takes a while, then on and off. And so that's taking a lot of time. So you still have very long queues. People are worried that the final day might elapse when they haven't had enough people register yet.
I came yesterday and I arrived around 8:30. The assemblyman who gathered us in a bus and brought us here, the queue was not going in an order, and we didn't like that.
This is our third day of coming here. It didn't go well for us at all.
Since day one of this registration, we have been working with only one electoral area. On the first day, we were able to register only one person for Tamale South constituency. The following day, that was the day 2 yesterday, we registered 31 people. And the electoral area we are dealing with has about 760-something people.
And top story, as always, is brought to you by Vodafone. Further together tonight, the opposition National Democratic Congress is also wading into the controversy surrounding the ongoing limited registration exercise of the EC, vowing to push the commission to reconsider its decision to use only the district offices for the registration exercise. Hours ago, the leader of the party, John Dramani Mahama, has been touring some of the EC centres, impressing on the commission to reconsider that decision and to decentralize the process. He's been to parts of the registration centres in the Greater Accra region. We'll hear from him shortly. My colleague James Aveji has been with the former president, touring some of these centres, and of course he's been interacting with some of the applicants going through the process itself. So James, now we are in the national capital and many are wondering if indeed the story is any different. What did you witness today at the registration centres that you visited? Let's start off with the first one.
Right, Blessed. So the only difference in what we have heard so far from the other part of the country and Accra is the machines breaking down in other parts of the country. Here in Accra, it is not the same. The only challenge is that most times they say they have network challenges. That's the only thing. But what Accra shares in common with the other parts of the region is the issue of the numbers and the gridlock in the lines. People, for instance, when I spoke with some of the registrants, one person tells me he came there as early as 8 a.m. and the other person says she came as early as 11 a.m. But that's at 3:34 p.m. They are still in the line. The process has not started.
And that's shocking for over 10 hours. And that's the case also, as we understand, for many of those who are in the queue, simply because a new arrangement has been deployed at this very center that you're talking about. Tell us about the center and there's a new plan to deal with the backlog first before proceeding with the registration.
Exactly. So the new arrangement is that if you are there before the EC officials close, the arrangement between the two major political parties, the NDC and the NPP, is to give numbers out to those who are in the line.
And we need to mention the name of the center, so it's not assumed that that's a general situation.
So this is the EC's old headquarters at
Greater Accra
region,
precisely.
Which is hosting 5 different districts. And so if you are in the line as at the time the EC is closing, you are given some numbers, and then the next day, no matter who comes before you, you are given the priority to do that.
Now the registrants and some of the applicants you've been speaking to say they're beginning to get frustrated about this exercise and may not even return to the registration centers.
Exactly. That special arrangement doesn't seem to be yielding because they say it is leading to some level of bias, creating some level of confusion. We can listen to some of them pour their grievances.
I came here around 11 something and I'm still sitting. I'm still in queue.
Have you started the process already?
No.
You haven't started yet?
Yeah.
Are you hopeful? It's past 3 p.m. now. Are you hopeful that by close of the day?
No. Yes.
And so you'll go and come back tomorrow?
No, I will not come back again.
If you are not able to do it today, you will not come back again?
Yeah.
Why?
They are delaying. Oh, maybe if it's closer to me, maybe I might go there.
So until it comes closer to you after today, you will not do it?
Yes.
How long have you been here?
Well, since morning. I've been here.
Around what time?
We came here around 8 a.m. Yeah.
Okay. And how many people are in front of you? How many people will go before you?
Actually, it was almost my turn until they came here to tell me that people were here yesterday and they wrote their names down, so they have to be registered before. So I went back, and now they are here telling us that those people should be registered before, because this canopy belongs to those who were not registered yesterday. Yeah.
Who came to give you that information?
Oh, I think one of the organizers. Yeah.
And so you would have to go back?
Yeah, that's what they are saying.
Yesterday there was a chaos here because of the registration. You know, some people think it is NDC brought this. Some people even think that the MPP2 brought this. So later on today, the PCs, they did a meeting. And then they were like, they should barricade the place. Secretary, organizer, and chairman, they should be in this jurisdiction.
Which PC?
Lydia Sarah Malasan, the MP, and then John Dumelo as a parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Wagon. They can be here. And then the constituency chairman, constituency organizer, and constituency secretary. You understand? But now, these are our opponents. Me, I'm for NDC. I'm a constituency executive for NDC. The MPP people, they'll wait. When it's like 3 something, then they start bringing confusion, chaos. And then you see to say the machine is slow, they won't work again.
What's the confusion they bring?
You see, yesterday they gave names. You understand? So after the names, those who follow have to go and register. But they say no. So these people have to go before these people. That is bringing the chaos.
Okay, and that's the allegation. We're not able to confirm this because the NPP is also denying that. So that's the allegation from the NDC side. Is the reason for which the leader of the party, John Dramani Mahama, has been touring some of the centers, including this very center, which is the center of the chaos and, of course, confusion that we're witnessing. What's John Mahama's recommendation to fixing the problem?
The recommendation is the fact that he reiterated the call over the time, even before the start of this exercise, that it is just not ideal for the EC to limit this process to only the 268 district offices. And so he is hopeful that although the process has started, he's hopeful that the EC will have listening ear to this clarion call to expand the exercise.
And but in the meantime, I think the EC should resolve the bottlenecks that we're seeing here. One, there's congestion. Two, the network is not going well. They registered one of the constituencies. They registered 50 on the first day. Then I think the next day 80. The highest they've registered in a day is 170. But if you look at these numbers, they will keep coming every day, you know. And so we need to speed up the process. Well, I'll refer you to a famous case. This was the Do4 case during our primaries. The EC said it had come to its attention that an injunction had been filed against our primaries, and so because of that, they will not be available. They were very proactive. I don't know why they are not proactive in this case. Well, you'll be lucky if they come back. In some cases, they might not come back because they'll get frustrated with the process, and that will disenfranchise them. And that's why we're saying that it would have been easier if this exercise had been taken closer to where their their polling stations are, and that would have been easier for them. Because right now they have to give up their studies. If they are persistent enough, they'll come for a day or 2 or 3 and manage to get registered. But then they would have missed several hours of their education. So.
And that's the proposition coming through from the leader of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama. Grateful, James Kusievich, who's been monitoring developments at the Greater Accra Regional Office of the Electoral Commission. I want to bring in now Dr. Kwesi Amarchi-Boateng, who's a senior lecturer at the Political Science Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Grateful, Doc, that you are equally monitoring the process and joining the conversation tonight. What do you first make of the reports that we're hearing about first of the queues, chaos at some of the registration centers, and a situation we could have averted, you believe?
Let me say good evening to your listeners, and to say that it's really unfortunate, actually. I just feel so bad because ordinarily it's a national exercise. This shouldn't have any partisan connection to it. Ghana is facilitating its nationals, its citizens, going through this exercise so that they will be able to participate in Ghana's politics. And the Constitution of Ghana has got this in as, a basic element. Chapter 5, the Bill of Rights addresses this issue. It's a major issue. Political rights that Ghanaians exercise. They have as a natural right. And that the state, and in this case represented by the EC, is simply having to do its duty of providing guarantees. And this guarantee in this particular instance is to ensure that everybody goes through it, gets registered, and then it will be up to the person to go ahead to participate in the other processes or not. But for now, the Ghanaian state, in the name of the EC, has a major duty, and it is checking the duty, in a flagrant fashion. The AC is represented by individuals who one will want to say that really, appear qualified to really go along with this issue without any difficulty. There was no need for anybody, political parties, civil society organizations, to simply have to come in and ask the EC to move to the left or to the right. The EC definitely should be knowledgeable enough to understand that, given the numbers anticipated, this exercise has not been done for 2 years, so obviously the numbers are going to go high. Some people argue that the EC has been doing these limited exercises in their district offices and stuff like that. Look, that is not supposed to be the case. By the way, times change, and every moment addresses the issues that are born in it. And the current situation calls for the EC to simply open up, make it easier for people to register. For all intents and purposes, you want to say that the EC is consciously, placing impediments. Two of them. One, the distances. People have to travel distances to go and get registered. And two, the machines. And the machines, were they not tested? What sort of machines are we using in this day and age? So it's really unfortunate. It should not happen.
Yeah, but Doctor, the point about resources, if the EC is to expand, they would need more money.
Haven't we heard every now and then that democracy is expensive? And it comes from these actors themselves. Or democracy is only expensive when political parties are campaigning. Why is it that Ghana is, has teamed up with West Africa to impress on Niger to sign, to simply, return on its terror decision and, if you like, bring the country back into democratic governance? Why? Why is that necessary? So resources shouldn't be a major factor in this case. It shouldn't. And we know, as far as Ghana's democracy is concerned, there are several countries that are ready to come to Ghana's aid if resources were to have been, cited as a major challenge, and for that matter, this particular exercise will, face difficulties and challenges. Definitely. Did anybody come out to, give any, resource as a challenge, to be anticipated in this exercise? We didn't hear it. Did anybody cite that as a major problem? The EC has not told us. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you who in the media heard it. Has the EC come out to complain that it has, resources as a challenge? We've not heard it.
So going forward, what would be your, recommendation to the Electoral Commission?
I think a good number of people have already come out with various recommendations. I just heard former President Mahama adding his voice to it. It's a very simple thing. The two challenges should be addressed. The distances. I don't think going by the legislative instrument guiding the exercise of the AEC on this particular issue, people have to really go through constraints before they register. No. Ghana should rather make it easier, facilitate the registration exercise. So that's the first thing that the EC has to do. And then the second thing is that the EC has got to find ways, work around the clock and bring in additional gadgets to facilitate the registration. I think the frustration people are going through should be brought to an end immediately.
And I'm grateful for spending some time with us here on Top Story, Dr. Kwesi Amakye Boateng. And in the last few minutes, Joy News is receiving a statement purportedly coming through from lawyers of the three commissioners of the Electoral Commission, including the chairperson, Madam Jean Mensah, on the issues pertaining to Precious Ayita, who's an 18-year-old, making a forceful claim in court, asking for, first of all, the process to be halted while the substantive case about opening more centers to allow her register comes up. My colleague James Avechi is back again with details of the statement. James, where is this statement coming from, first of all?
So, Blessed, this is coming from Amenuvo and Associate. They say they are actually the lawyers for the three persons respondents in that application by the applicant. And it says that we are lawyers of Mrs. Jean Mensah, Electoral Commissioner, and Dr. Eric Asari Bossman, Deputy Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Samuel Tete, Deputy Electoral Commissioner of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Our attention has been drawn to a news item that a process or processes have been filed, for which personal service of same is required for the purposes of service on our clients. We have our client's instructions to inform you in writing that they have waived their right to personal service, and we hereby undertake in writing to accept service of the said process and all subsequent processes on their behalf. Please deliver the process or processes to the bearer of this letter, who is a lawyer in our law firm. We count on your usual cooperation. Yours truly, for Amenuvo and Associate, and that was signed by Justin Amenuvo Esquire. So that's what is contained in that letter we just received.
And indeed, we are your election headquarters, continuing to monitor all of these developments for you. But that's all we have for you here on Top Story tonight. I am Blessed, so log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. Next is Ghana Connect.